Well, hello everyone, I'm back. Another update here. It's early afternoon, Ontario, California, on September 15th. Um, the good news on my truck is it does not need new bushings. They told me the bushings were good. So that will not have to be done. I have not had any word yet on the cab shocks. They will be looking at that. The front axle, the brakes pads were marginal, but this goes back to when I first got the truck. The brake pads were no good. I had them replaced. They only replaced just enough to be legal. They didn't completely replace them like they should have, but they lasted me 4 years, so I'm not really complaining. And they're still marginal, but I'm getting them replaced now so that I do not have to worry about them down the road. So I will be here another night. That they were not going to have it done today. Um, so I'm going to provide another update on the tropical weather system in the Gulf. Sally, I call it a tropical weather system because it's a hybrid. It's not really a hurricane like they're all saying it is. And this is going to be my last forecast on any tropical weather system. Reason being, I feel these storms are being tinkered with. I don't think they're following a natural process anymore. They are being interfered with by forces that I almost equate it to what's happening with the wildfires. The wildfires are artificial as well. They're not natural. They are using some sort of technology to fire up these wildfires. They're using some sort of technology to try to fire up these tropical weather systems as well. I look at Sally. I have closely examined the images of this system, and I get the impression that it is like a boat in a river with a strong current sitting where in place. A boat left to its own devices in a river where the current is not going to be stationary. It's going to float down the river. There is a very strong southwesterly flow in the upper atmosphere hitting this weather system, and it's not moving anywhere. I predicted last night or yesterday, that it should have made landfall in Pensacola 36 hours ago, and it's still sitting off of Mobile, offshore. And yet there is a strong southwesterly flow aloft hitting this storm. What can I conclude? Well, it has a motor that's pushing it southwestward to keep it in place so that the wind doesn't take it to the northeast like it should have done hours and hours ago. The only way that storm could be sitting where it is, it has a motor attached to it. I have come to that conclusion. There is no way a storm could sit in place that long, not move, in the natural law of physics. Another thing I notice is the convection. I feel like I'm watching a fireworks show with the way the convection's happening, popping all over the place. That is not natural. That they are injecting through laser technology energy into this storm to try to power it up to a major hurricane, or at least make it worse than it should have otherwise been. And even with all of that, though, being thrown in, because solar wind is so low, they're not successfully powering it up to where they want it, I don't think. But they are. I'm serious. I feel like I'm watching a fireworks show when I look at the images over time. Like the convection, the way it's happening, like it is intelligently being directed at this system. Some sort of energy is being fired at it to enhance the convection of it. There is no way this system could sit where it is and keep firing up like that. The heat would have all been taken out of the water a long time ago. It would have weakened. So I am not going to be predicting any more for the tropical weather season. I am not going to be making any more predictions because these systems are not being governed by natural forces anymore. They are being tinkered with by technology to promote an agenda of global warming. It's like the wildfires erupting all over the place. We got tropical weather systems erupting everywhere in the Atlantic, and there is some sort of technology very likely being used to enhance this. I'm more convinced than ever. We look at the history of Sally, it was moving toward Pensacola, making a beeline to Pensacola, and reached Pensacola, and then all of a sudden everything changed. When normally it would have kept moving north up into Alabama, would have accelerated, moved in North Carolina, gone out to sea by now. In the natural order of things. This is what's going on is not natural in the tropics. This is going to be my last prediction I'm making because these systems are not following the natural order of things. I'm pretty sure they're going to figure out a way to fire up Teddy into a hurricane. They're going to figure out a way to make this the most record tropical season by using technology to enhance these systems, technology that we don't fully understand. It's all being done to promote an agenda, and I'm not really going to let myself get. It bothers me a lot that, but what can you do? That's what they're doing. Properties getting damaged, even lives are being lost to promote an agenda, but that's what kind of a system is in place. Conclusion from that is the system has got to go. We'd be replaced with something better. That's the only conclusion I can get out of this. My only prediction is this likely isn't going to be the last storm that impact. Probably there will be more because they have technology that can interfere with the tracks of these storms, that can interfere with the intensity of them. I don't think they can create a storm out of nothing, but they can enhance systems that are already there that normally may not have been really that bad, make it a lot worse with fires. Yeah, that LGBT group could have started that fire, but it wasn't that bad of a fire until they interfered with it by throwing laser technology into it and turned what could have been just a normal fire into a massive conflagration. Yes, somebody might throw a cigarette butt that might lead to a fire, but then once that fire gets going, they can use technology to make it 100 times worse than it should have been. So that's going to be it. I will be here for the rest of the day. I hope you found my views on this interesting. This is how what I feel is going on.